Yeah, day 54, colour check on the banana in the sun and in the shade sort of thing. I noticed, yeah, some people in the world can't even get at that, and the Nadal Church has trillions of dollars worth of property all around the world. Yeah, wouldn't they want to trade that so everyone could have a banana on the planet? Yeah. Anyway, you notice that having regularly watered this pot with 20 counts, which basically is the amount of water in these sort of pots that starts it running out the bottom. This CP weed has started growing quite nicely, and I've got a dandelion that's really taken off. Look at that. Maybe I should go for spot colour on this. But on that one first, and then on this one here, look at that leaf. It's quite succulent too, that leaf. So that's pretty good. So anyway, let's get on to it. A few things to show you today. Yeah, it's all go. Yeah, we're not even middle of November, not even into December, the supposed classical beginning of summer or our dry sort of thing. I have to put sunglasses on just to water my plants now. It's so bright, I almost blind myself. But what I want to show you, I suppose I'm going to have to go to spot colouring on this. It's this one, I'm flushing this one. Oh yeah, I've had to move a few things around because it wasn't getting enough sun, and I still don't think it's getting enough sun, but I may be shifting pots around or up along the table. I mean, that's getting enough sun, so is that, but yeah, anyway, but it's a trade-off, fellas, a trade-off. So notice it's not dripping at the moment. Now I'll put in 20 counts roughly on this. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 20, and not even before I've stopped. That's 25 actually. Not even before I've stopped putting the 25 counts in there, it's already dripping at the bottom, which is somewhat different to some of the other ones. So it's very good in quotes flowage or infiltration through the pot. And some of the candles are getting a little bit exposed on the surface. Oh, I've got to take my glasses, I can't see anything now. Some of them, yeah, it's not in the sun like it was about half an hour ago. But anyway, colour check on the, that's another reason I'm using these labels, because they've got the red, the turquoise, they've got two forms of green, they've got a yellow in there, they've got a white too. So it's a good colour check, because the labels may fade through the summer, but even an old label there I've got over here that has lost some of its stuff. What remains is still pretty good, pretty okay. So hopefully it's focusing on that. But some of them you can see with the zinc oxide we've used, it's actually stuck to the plastic of the label. Same with the iron, but it does seems to settle down. And if you notice, the colour in the sand is changing, like some of that. Or was that just my glasses? Could be in my glasses. Yeah, we're losing some of the iron out of the sand, I think. So it's going, presumably it's going down to the nether regions of the pot. So yeah. Anyway, anything else to report? We'll just have a quick look around. Doing 50 counts on this to actually saturate there, and then the second one it's only about 40, almost 45 sort of thing. So yeah. So we'll have to see. Oh, and it takes a long time to drip through too. So that bottom layer of the newspaper, cellulose and sand at the bottom, I think it was it 1/3 newspaper cellulose, 2/3 sand, or was it 50-50? I can't remember now. You're going to have to look back at the videos. One of the good things of being able to look quickly back at the videos, if you know what day it is, you can find it very quickly if you've made a mental note of which day I do things. And also from that day you can measure time to, as I set up various experiments, you can actually measure the time. Like this one here, oh yes. Yeah, I'm on spot colour, I shouldn't have been. Can you see that leaf there? I don't know if we can get it to focus in by its yeah, fattening up. They seem to go through this stage where they project out, and then suddenly they'll fatten up soon. Some of them will almost like go horizontally across the surface, and then the leaf will fatten up and bend back, sort of thing. So whether this is going to green soon, I don't know. This one over here just seems to be getting redder and redder. So, but the leaves, you notice the leaves are getting really almost like a sickly look to them. So whether that means the plant's going to cark it, or the plant's going to get to a stage where it actually does something a little unusual. I mean, this pot here, that seems to have crapped out as well. I don't know why. But is it crapping out because it's got to the stage where the surface of the soil should be starting to green, and that greening is being competed against by having all the actual newspaper sellers in with the sand? So that's why this pot over... Oh, I better do this. Yeah, Gideon likes this one. So does Rob in town, I think. So yeah, I better do it almost every day, because you know this gives people overseas hope that, you know, the revolution is going to happen, and it's probably going to happen this season into next season, sort of thing. So yeah, I think the Cape's going to make a move, but yeah, yeah. Yeah. But as the zinc one seems to have, like these ones seem to have settled in 2 days of flashes, sort of thing. So I think, yeah. So on this one, yeah, I suppose I better do that one, because that's the first one we put in. So the other one is sort of, yeah. Oh, okay. And what's this one? Oh yeah, this one's got a new leaf coming up that's very, and of course that's centrally located, so it has like a 50-50 slant of both newspaper cellulose on the top and sand underneath, sort of thing. So compared to this one in the middle, which has the other way around, 50% sand on top and 50% newspaper cellulose on the bottom, we can compare. So that's why I did this experiment. You know, in very quick comparison, and you can start to get gauge some ideas. And yeah, okay, and that one there, yeah, I don't know, I think some of these things are going to make a move pretty shortly. So, but this has a nice leaf coming up on that one, so you know, we might want to, you know, keep a note on some of the things. And this one might be making a move too. So is it concomitant with the actual beginning of the greening? You know, you see the greening, and a few days later, after it really, you know, settles in, and they start to take off. So, but I'm itching to get onto my my calcium one. I'm setting up another pot tonight, and then I'm you know, which I'll flush, and then I'll get, you know, put the plants in, and we'll go off. I definitely need that coffee. So we'll see. Still pretty disappointed with these things over here, but then again. Yeah, I don't know. And these ones, reputedly, they put up a flash of pictures and they don't do anything for a few months, and then right at the end of the season they put up another crop where other plants crap out. So then, yeah, it's a new phrase I'm using, crapping out. Yeah, picked up a new horrible phrase, but yeah, I don't know. I don't mind that. Let's put it on. So yeah, I'm using the General Trace. Try that one. Put the hand behind it. Oh, I don't know, these might make a move, I don't know, but yeah, could do, yeah. It's like the school mistress, could do better. Yeah, I don't know, having the chalk down the bottom. So does the chalk act a bit in a way like aluminium? You know, it gets rid of any sulfur compounds in the pot, sort of thing. So therefore also can act in a way a bit like, I suppose, zinc in a way. You know, it affects the sulfur cycle. But yeah, oh, am I on spot Cullen, or have I gone? No, I'm not on spot Cullen. Now I am. So but it does take the camera a little time to adjust. Still waiting for some progress out of this one, because it has iron in it, and we've had such good success with iron in this one. But it did take a while, didn't it, fellas? So it's not just having the compound in there, it seems to be some symbiotic relationship, I would say. Or, as I said before with the Dione, it's every leaf has a root, but the root only comes out when it gets near the back end of the rhizome, basically, sort of thing. Oh yes, that's another thing. I've noticed with these shop boughts, there are strange things going on with the roots. Some of them seem like bent round and up or something. I don't know, it's just because they come out of tissue culture and it's the way they plant them into the pot. You know, they're using some sort of planting device to actually put a certain amount, putting a certain number of plants in a pot, and that device somehow gets the roots, or it's just the way once it's gone in the pot, the hormone, the visual hormones makes the roots grow up instead of down on some of the plants. They seem to be like in little neat pockets though, and you're dividing the plants, you find one and there's like a neat little clump of roots sort of going up the wrong way and sort of round themselves, you know, a bit like the way they talk about roots climbing or around the walls of a pot sort of thing, but it's doing something similar but in a little bundle, ball sort of thing. Anyway, let's see, spot colour on this. Getting some sun today. Or new leaf there. I mean, that leaf there, if that opens up properly, that one there, it's probably going to be so wild looking. If you go online, look at the Brado photographs, just take my dark glasses off, and just look at some of them. That looks so, to me, that looks so wild, because we didn't have all these wild photographs until we had the internet, you see. People never really mention how close to the ocean they really actually grew. So, yeah, back to normal general growth. But still, very slow on greening on that patch that was under this. So is it tetraphthalates in that? But it's very localised. So anyway, would like more movement on the copper to give us an idea or direction, but so far and so forth. Anyway, let's get back to things over here. Now, with my glasses on, I might be able to actually read this thing today and get the probably spot colour. Give you 5 minutes of a thing. Now, sponsor Venus flytrap. That's it. Now, it says here the maximum rainfall for both sets of stations occurs in the summer months, June, July, and August, when more than a third of the total precipitation, that's more than a third, so that's more than 33 1/3% of the rain occurs in the summer period. But also, if you notice, if you read this paper carefully, people mention that the plants don't actually go dormant. They continue to grow slowly during their winter sort of thing. And even when it's transplanted to the mountains, they still grow, so sort of thing. So that's very interesting. And this is like a discussion, so, but here's the so-called typical, what do they call it, idealised transect across from the Poccasin, which is the evergreen shrub bog, bays and yeah, I think. So it's always green, so the plants are always green, even when there's winter, and maybe occasionally they get some snowfall in the area. Occasionally, it says in the paper, occasionally they do actually get snow in the area, so it must get down to 0 degrees or below to get snow. 0 degrees below to get snow, and it stays green, you see, so you'll probably have all elsewhere you have devastation where everything's gone either dormancy or gone brown or everything, but then you've got this patch here at the Poccasin, the evergreen shrub bog. It'll be bright green, I would assume, you know, or poking through a bit of snow or something like that. So that's my take, my idea of what they say in this paper anyway. Oh yeah, better focusing on these things for you. Yeah, coloured, coded for your infinite pleasure, and we'll just sort of go along here and yeah, do the Barry Myers Weiss pan and pause. And maybe this is enough for today, because you're probably going to have to take this in and read all of this sort of stuff. So maybe we should start with this section and go through the paper that way. That's about moisture. This is about fire. What is this other page? This is the general discussion, physical and soil studies. Maybe this is a way to start it off with only a minute on there. The soils of the southeastern coastal plain included in this study have been developed chiefly from Pleistocene and recent sediment under the influence of a warm temperate climate with moderately high rainfall of 50 inches, high ground water table, and to a lesser extent fire. The clay-leon and closely related soil series occurring primarily in regions of smooth relief are the chief soils occurring in that region of the coastal plain where diarrhea is found. The chief soil forming the diarrhea substrate belongs to the St. John soil series, a groundwater podzol, the 1955, as was observed in practically all borings taken at Dynear sites. The soil profile description for these sites were all very similar. Most have a thin layer of peaty material at the surface and a dark grey or black surface horizon, gradually lightening in colour with depth, overlying a coffee brown cemented layer, the hardpan. But it's an organic hardpan, remember. Okay? Remember, that's the difference. It's an organic hardpan, not a inorganic iron encrusted hardpan, as would be normal in podzolic situations. Okay, important point, and probably a point to end on, I suppose. You might want to take that and think about it. Beneath this, the colour varies somewhat from brownish grey to almost yellow. Occasionally, excessive wetness of the strata below 10 inches made it impossible to bring samples to the surface and prevented positive identification of the soil type. Otherwise, all soil borings were regularly taken to a depth of at least 30 inches, which is down to the water table, basically, I believe, if I remember correctly. Anyway, that's about it for today, I think. You've got your fill for today. Tune in tomorrow and we might talk some more, and I'll probably have those other pots set up, or I have this one in and I have the other one getting ready to go, sort of thing, so you might want to look at that. The colour might be interesting.